Hi Peter, this is Coach Smart from ABC Baseball Camps. I'm here to do your video evaluation. So let's get started. I want to watch a couple swings. Okay, so let's talk about your setup, Peter. Okay, so right there, right before you go. Okay, so from a setup standpoint, we always talk about the foundation first, which of course is your feet. And you have a nice parallel, pretty parallel stance here. Make sure it is, okay? Make sure you don't start off open. Okay, from a hand standpoint, okay, rule of thumb is, Peter, that we get our hands to about equal with our top hand equal with the ear hole. Get real close there. So I don't think that's a huge issue. Let's watch your what your foot does when it lands. Okay, so first thing I see, Peter, is that front foot landing in an open position. Okay, which is going to lead to this hip being open, which is going to lead to this front shoulder pulling off the baseball. Okay, so it's really imperative that you land that front foot, and when it lands, it mirrors your back foot. See how your back foot is closed? When this foot's the ground, it needs to be closed too. The longer, Peter, that we can keep our upper body square to home plate throughout our swing, the better chance we have to squaring more baseballs up. And that's the name of the game. Okay, so the next step in our evaluation is to check your barrel route, how you take your bat from point A to the contact area. Okay, so pretty nothing really there to complain too much about. Okay, so there we are at contact. Okay, so let's talk about the good stuff right here, Peter. Okay, and there is some really good stuff here. Okay, number one, the biggest thing that jumps out at me as a hitting instructor and as a coach and a scout is what you're doing with your backside. Okay, you're showing some real ambition to drive that knee with good direction towards the pitcher and to down and inside your front foot. Okay, the problem is though, if that front foot is open and this front foot leg, gets locked out, okay, like this, what you end up doing is pushing backwards, and you don't get much out of that lower half, that back leg, because you push your weight forward, then you immediately lock your leg out and push it back. And I'm not a huge fan of that. Quite honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay, because you end up not getting your weight shifted, and you lose some power that you probably have in that body and in that approach. So the key to it is though that front foot not being closed. So you lose the ability to create resistance between your knee and your foot. You pushing down to that foot and your foot staying on the ground and staying closed, okay, creates resistance between the two. And that resistance turns into energy. And the energy flows up through your body, through your core, out to your hands, and obviously to the baseball. So it's really important that you understand that and keep that darn front foot closed. Okay? Second thing that jumps out at me, Peter, is where you are at contact, which is right on the bat right now. Okay, your chest, your belly button, your belt buckle are all facing. Now this pitch could be inside. I can't tell from this angle, I hope it is. Because if it's down the middle or if it's a little bit outside, you're in big trouble. Well, it wouldn't be outside because you wouldn't be hitting it if it was outside. Okay, so we got to make sure that we're not over rotating the upper body. Okay. We want to, I'd like to see you at contact, Peter, be right there with your chest. Even there at contact. When I go to scout, high school or college guys, I don't look for guys that can swing their hips or they can move their hips fast or their shoulders. I'm looking for guys that can move the barrel of the bat with their hands without rotating their upper body. Those are the kind of guys that end up having shorter swings and have the ability to handle pitches on the outer half. As you get to the next level, whatever level that is, varsity to JV or JV to varsity or whatever it is for you, I don't know how old you are, you have to show a pitcher that you can handle the balls in the outer half. It's just imperative that you be able to handle those balls in the outer half and drive that pitch the other way. And you're not going to drive too many pitches the other way with your chest facing there at contact. Okay, so let's watch another swing. Whoops. Again, your front foot's too open. Barrel route is fantastic. Backside is fantastic. But again, your chest and belly button and belt buckle are all facing the pitcher or even left of the pitcher at contact. Okay, and what I have found with hitters is, especially at the professional level, you better be able to show somebody, a scout, and the high, an executive from a major league team, that you can hit the ball all three fields. Okay, so let's talk about your finish a little bit. It goes back to what we talked about before about the angle of your body, Peter, pushing back. Okay. Have you transferred your weight to your front side? You're supposed to do it when you swing the bat. It looks like to me it's still back here. It's still, you're leaning back so much that it's on your back side. Okay, so we want to make sure that we don't get stuck back there. That when we finish our swing, we're back to 50-50. Okay? So you start off as a hitter, you start off as 50-50. Right there. Okay, you're 50-50. Pitcher starts to dance with you a little bit. He starts to wind up. You load. Okay, you stride. And then you transfer weight forward. And you don't push back. See how it means you're pushing back? Now again, I don't know how old you are, Peter. Maybe your dad's 6'5" and you're going to be 6'5". But if you're not going to be 6'5", you got to make sure you're getting your weight transferred. Okay? Make sure you're hitting line drives in the gaps. That's the key to being a good young hitter. That power. My son Taylor, who plays at the University of Tennessee right now, had 17 home runs his senior year in high school. In 3 years of college, he's hit 4. So, power hitters don't come around very often. Once every 5 or 10 years, you find a guy that has real projectable power. And your goal should be to hit line drives in left center and right center. And with that approach of leaning back like that one's a little better there. You got to make sure you're getting back to 50-50, okay? So make sure that front foot lands down. Make sure you're trying to be more square to home plate at the point of contact. And make sure your finish is back to 50-50. Okay, Peter, thanks a lot for coming to ABC Baseball Camps. We look forward to seeing you at the next one. Have a great day.